Hello and welcome to my day 4 build diary for my Glacial Cascade Elementalist. So today I spent most of the day grinding both Labyrinth and Delirium. So let's go over that. So starting with Delirium, as I said last video, I was trying to get cluster jewels with Doriani's lesson. I ran probably 100 plus maps trying to get a large cluster jewel that was less than 11 passives that had, some sort of added small passives grant elemental damage. So either percent elemental, percent fire, percent cold, or percent lightning. I didn't get it, so finally I said fuck it, and I'm gonna just use this one. I ult spammed this one. It took, I think, right at 200 ults to hit it. That means that I did have to use, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 points instead of 3, because if I could have got less amount of small passives, it would have been closer down here. All I did was I took the nodes out of this jewel socket and used those. I still get a jewel socket, so that's perfectly fine. This jewel isn't great, but it works. Still hunting for another jewel here. I'm taking the energy shield nodes here. Basically, I want the leech mastery for 5% of life. 5% of leech is instant because that does count as with my Doriani's, so it's just more leech. And this is the closest leech node that I am to, since I was already taking the ES leech. Other than that, the passive skill tree really hasn't changed. I did go ahead and take Zealot's Oath, so my life regen is applied to ES, which means I'm currently sitting on 425 ES regen a second. That is a lot. Because of the ES regen and how much I have, that allowed me to run Righteous Fire of Arcane Devotion. Now, this is kind of a weird one, this is why I was running Lab. So this one says that it deals 70% of your maximum mana as base fire damage per second, and you burn for 90% of your maximum mana as fire damage per second. However, because I only have 1300 mana, it's only hitting my energy shield. It'll never deplete my energy shield because of how much regen I have. I think the cutoff here is like 350 ES regen. Like if I take off Vitality, it does nothing, so I'm actually going to swap my Vitality out. I just haven't done it yet. Something else that I noticed that doesn't work with this is the Soul of Tukohama for the captured Tahasin Warmaker. That doesn't actually get converted to ES regen, which is weird. So yeah, that kind of sucks. I was hoping it did. But basically, I'm going to swap this Vitality out for probably, I don't know, because it's a 25% aura. Or it's less than 25% aura, so I'm going to have to find something else that I can run with this. I don't think that I can run, what is the Consecrated Ground on Zealotry, because it's 50% of mana, which sucks. I may end up running something like a Precision just for the crit chance. That would put my, so at 20% leveled up, that would put me close to crit chance capped with all of my power charges, but I really haven't decided yet. So in order to get Righteous Fire of Arcane Devotion, I ran Merc Lab, and it took me 15 lab runs to get it. While doing that, I did get a couple cool gems. So I got an Icicle Mind of Sabotage, which is really nice. Lightning Tendrils of Escalation, a Carrion Golem of Scavenging, a Lightning Spire Trap of Overloading, and a Holy Relic of Conviction. I may end up playing a trap build this league later in the league, and if I do, I will probably play something like Ball Lightning, or the lightning trap. I can't think of what it's called. Trap, lightning. Where is it? Lightning trap. Is it? Yeah, that's just lightning trap, the one that fires projectiles. That would be cool. And then I could supplement it with lightning spire trap, which would be really nice. Speaking of other cool gems that I have, I've been doing mercs, and I've gotten a couple different spectral or the Terrathis gems. I'm not real sure if I want to play any of these this league. The conviction one was kind of cool, but I would rather have my normal wave of conviction. Where's it at? Here it is, because it applies a debuff. So it applies exposure. This one does not. Speaking of stuff that I'm trying to get, I'm still working on trying to get a Frostferno. Or is it? No, it's not a Frostferno. Heat Shiver. Frostferno was the old prophecy upgrade for it. So I've just been chancing leather hoods. Couple cluster jewels that I've kept just because both of these are flasks. If I decide to play a bow character, I might play a Pathfinder. I don't know. Couple of Delirium orbs that I got while doing Delirium. That's about it. I did swap out my flask for a Stibnite, which I think I talked about in the previous episode. So, as far as what I'm doing now, I'm just back to Atlas progression. I'm currently sitting on 89 out of 115, and I'm hoping tomorrow I can get more. I'm hemorrhaging on Valorbs, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap my Delirium tree over to Expedition, and then I'm just going to gamble with Tujin. Is it Tujin? Yeah, just use Tujin to get Valorbs. But you can see I'm so low on all of the Expedition currency. As far as maps, though, I've been running a lot of Waterways. The reason being is Waterways is one of the maps that drops the Primordial card, which will give us a Primordial Jewel. You don't need Primordial Jewels for this build necessarily, but if we can get like an Eminence or I can't remember the other one that does buff effect. Eminence might do buff effect, but there's a couple good jewels that you can run that'll give us more buff effect from our golems. But the reason I picked Waterways is this also will give us a chance to get the Desperate Crusade, which is the Prism Guardian card, and if we're super, super lucky, Terrible Secret of Space, which is the level 21 Transfigured Golem gem, which if we can get the Stone Golem of Hordes, that would be amazing. Because we could run that as well. And also, I mean, obviously it gives tabby cards. Other maps that give the Primordial card are Grotto. It gives 2, it gives the Stone Reflected, which is Primordial Jewel, 1 to 2 Implicit Corrupted. You can also get the Alteration. You can get Sea of Blue, which is Alteration Orbs with this one. I may swap over to Grotto. I can't remember the layout on Grotto, but it might be better than Waterways. And that's it. If eventually, if I get the Scry dude thingy, I can't remember what his name is, I will probably swap this to Strand. Just because Strand is a more linear layout, and eventually I can make Strand a T15 if I can do one more Voidstone, which this build can do once I get a little bit more defenses. Because that's my main thing right now is getting defenses. As far as actual gear goes, nothing has changed. I did make this wand. I got it from Faustus. I threw an essence on it, and I hit the flat cold. And then I hit the mana regen with crit and increased cold. That was pretty good. And then I just threw an exalt, I threw an exalt at it for spell damage. I'm in solo self-found. Exalts are nothing to me, so I had one, I threw it on there. It's a little bit more damage than my other one. It's like marginally better. But for now, what I've been doing is I would like to get another Profane wand from Faustus. So I've just been hitting random wands, and I'm also hitting random evasion and ES shields so I can get more spike shields, because I would love to have one with Essence evasion rating and then hybrid evasion, and probably spell suppress. That would be really cool. Currently, we are sitting on 32% spell suppress, and we have a little bit of armor, and a little bit of evasion. So if we could get those higher, I'd feel a little more safe. But yeah, so let's run a map here. I will say with this Righteous Fire, the cast speed has gotten awesome. It's really helped quite a bit. The quality on it only does base radius, so you really don't need to quality it. But I go from 3.8 cast per second to 4.6 currently, and it's only level 14 gem. I think at level 20, it's a 25% more cast speed. Actually, let me look that up just so I'm not telling you wrong. Righteous Fire. I believe it is 25% here. Let's see. 24% is at level 20. So that'll probably put me up close to 5 casts per second. So let's go ahead and run a map here. I guess we'll run a... Do I have a grotto? I don't have a grotto. What's a good map to run? I guess we'll run a ley line. Ley lines, that's a pretty good layout, right? Yeah, that's not bad. We'll run this for the showcase. Also, I did put on, I got the Zana charge effect, which looks really cool. I like the yellow roses. Those look really good. But, yeah. Let's hop into the map here. Alright, so we're in the map, and let's go ahead and pop our RF on. And you can see with this new cast speed, like, it feels so good. And that's one thing with any, self-cast build. And I feel like it kind of goes without saying. The more cast speed, the better it's going to feel. But Legions also with this build are really nice because you do end up with quite a bit of AoE on the build. Even though we're not directly stacking AoE, we do end up with quite a bit. And you can see there, that's one thing that I'm trying to avoid is the whole one-shot. And because that is something that is a issue with the build, is one-shots. And I know in Path of Exile you can never, you're never going to not get one shot in the game. So, even builds that I've played that are truly immortal, you can still get one shot. So, one thing I do want to do, one thing I want to say here, is shrines are amazing. If you're not running shrines, I would highly, highly suggest it. I know most people these days are running shrines, but it for sure is something that I think is kind of overlooked. But it does make it feel really nice. I should also probably start doing Alva temples, because I am going to want to start double corrupting my gems here soon. My Cascade is at 2020, so it'd be really cool to be able to hit it like a 21-23 on that. So I think once I get a few more levels, and I get my Atlas progression a little better, probably level 93, 94-ish, I will start getting into Alvas. Hey, there you go. Now you guys can see. That's what any of my chance stuff looks like on my filter. Big, bright, purple. Can't miss it. Makes a really obnoxious sound. Trying to attack my my Merc. That's something else that hasn't changed in pretty much since I hit maps is my Merc. Oh my god, that dude's got an honor home. I want that. There is a really cool tornado build that people have been playing this league, and the helmet. Oh, alright, but what I was saying before I got fucking smoked by that mercenary is honor home is one of the uniques that you need for that tornado build. So, yeah. Honestly, I may have an honor home that's a pretty common unique. I don't know. I have a bunch of builds that I want to play this league, but I don't... I feel like if I re-roll a bunch, then I'm just going to end up with you know, 5 or 6 characters that are all at like level 80, that none of them are you know, able to do in-game, and it's just going to annoy me. And then I'm going to end up like I was last league, where I get pissed off and I stop playing the league, and yeah. So that was a map showcase. Pretty easy in tier 13s. Just don't fuck with mercenaries, or, you know, probably check their gear first. But yeah, that's kind of all I have for a build update today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed or are enjoying the series. If you want to see more, there's tons of videos on my channel. Go ahead while you're there too. If you feel like you like the content, go ahead and subscribe. It helps me out quite a bit with getting more people to see the videos, and I hope that these videos help someone in any certain way. So yeah, that's going to be it for me, though, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. I will see you in tomorrow's build update. You have a wonderful day.